Woodland caribou once occupied much of what is now British Columbia. They are animals of high elevation forests and northern landscapes, relying heavily on lichens and on large continuous areas of habitat. An early 20th century guide called this region good country for caribou. In 2000, David Spalding would ask why some places earned that description and why many lost it. Caribou have occupied this region since soon after the glaciers retreated. Remains dating back more than 12,000 years show caribou moving into newly exposed landscapes, tracking climate, vegetation, and space. Historical records suggest woodland caribou were once widespread, forming connected populations across much of the province. This connectivity was key. It allowed caribou to persist through climate variability and local disturbance. But by the early 1900s, woodland caribou were already in decline across much of British Columbia. Settlement brought miners and hunters into caribou country. Firearms made hunting more efficient, and gold rushes and homesteads opened the landscape. Caribou were soon reported absent from areas around these settlements. Meanwhile, large forest fires swept through the forests, destroying winter forage and cover. These fires further reduced the habitat available to caribou. For some, the burned landscapes created by wildfire and human activity likely provided new forage in open areas, helping them expand into regions where they had once been rare. Moose were initially scarce in high-elevation forests, but populations began to increase in the early 20th century. Wolves began following the expanding moose populations, taking advantage of the growing prey base. In some regions, this increase in predators added pressure on caribou, creating what ecologists call apparent competition. More moose supported more wolves, which in turn incidentally increased caribou mortality. By the mid-20th century, targeted wolf control programs reduced predation in some areas, allowing caribou to survive and begin recovering. Hunting regulations added further protection, giving populations a modest boost. Yet this rebound was fragile. Industrial logging and expanding road networks fragmented forests and opened caribou habitats to predators and hunters alike. The landscapes that once allowed recovery now made it increasingly difficult. George Emmons described the significance of caribou in British Columbia as that of buffalo on the plains, but roughly 60% of the historic population has been lost. Yet some forests still harbor caribou, showing that even after centuries of change, patches of good caribou country remain.